Hello, everyone. Today I've got a little slideshow for you that was inspired by a trip I took to the candy store the other day with my 9-year-old daughter. So I'm just going to walk and talk you through these slides, and then we're going to talk about what it means if your brain does have the responses that I'm expecting. So as you look at these slides, I don't want you to try to control your natural response. Just allow it to happen. It sort of defeats the purpose if you try to change it. So just notice the slides, take it in, allow your brain to respond as it will. So first slide, sour candies. And this is what inspired this slideshow was when I was staring at the whole wall of sour candies with my daughter the other day. I just noticed that I started salivating a little bit. I always get this like sharp feeling in I guess like my jowls area when I eat sour candies. I don't like it. Um, and I just noticed my body like starting to prepare for that, even though I wasn't going to eat any of the sour candies. And then I just thought about other things that elicit similar responses. So how does that feel to you, or what happens in your body when you think about the sound of fingernails on a chalkboard? Or if you had to hear that right now, how does your body respond to that? And then this one, for me, it elicits two things: both the if I were to eat that lemon, what my mouth almost wants to start salivating again, but also the just thinking, what if this person has a paper cut? That's sort of what my nervous system tunes into more, just that like, ooh, that sharp, visceral feeling of that. Or what about a cold plunge? If you've ever taken one, when you imagine doing it again, or if you imagine doing it for the first time, what kind of response does your system have? And then imagine getting to drink a nice warm beverage afterwards, or pet your adorable dog, or maybe connect with somebody. Okay, so I'm going to end on this image just to give you something a little more pleasant to look at. But if you, similarly to me and many people, did have some sort of visceral response, especially to those first few slides, or if you can relate to it, maybe you didn't in this instance, but maybe you have before and you understand what I mean. What's happening there is called predictive coding, and that is when your brain is anticipating a stimuli, and so it's creating the response needed to essentially deal with that stimuli. And the reason it's relevant to working with chronic pain is because for people who are in chronic pain, this is often a huge component of what your brain is doing. It's predicting that something is going to happen in your body and that you need a certain response, and then it creates that response. And so, in the instance of these slides, consciously and subconsciously that you're not actually about to eat a sour candy or squeeze a lemon into a paper cut or take a cold plunge. So that immediate visceral response you may have had to those slides turns off pretty quickly, because it's not actually happening. But in the instance of chronic pain, it is very believable, and we get very afraid, most of us. And when we are believing what's happening and we become fearful of it, we're actually perpetuating that pain loop. And so part of what we want to teach you in our course, in our groups, in our classes is how to sort of work with that concept to eventually learn how to turn off your pain signals. So check out the link below for information about upcoming groups, classes, as well as our online course. Thanks so much for watching.